You didn't open it by accident, dear. A gentle voice in your heart told you to stop. It wasn't your imagination, it was a voice from heaven. Yes, it's the person you loved and who has passed away. They are calling you, the person you still think about before you go to sleep, the person whose loss you still feel in the quiet hours. Is it a coincidence that I'm sending you this message right now? No, it's not. It's one of the divine laws of the universe and heaven. Yes, the law of attraction. You feel extremely lucky that I'm sending you this message, don't you? Before moving on to the message, please like the video so that this message can reach other people, dear soul. You must also receive and accept the message with love. If you write "I received and accepted it with love" in the comments and seal it with 111, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages. Says Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to the message. They asked Archangel Michael to find you, and he did. This is an urgent situation, and there are only 2 minutes left. You don't know what's going on behind the curtain right now, but heaven knows, and they're in a hurry. To draw your attention, this message traveled through prayer, spirit, and light just for you. If you stop now, something important will go unheard. This is your sign. Last night, the person you love was crying your name, not with sadness, but with urgency. God said, "Please let them see this." You didn't hear it with your ears, but your soul did, which is why you're here now, because heaven called, and heaven always knows who is ready. Michael stood next to your bed while you slept, watching you turn, even nearly wake up, and when. He wept quietly, because even angels experience pain when you're in danger of missing your miracle. This is not normal. It's not a coincidence. God is watching you right now, yes, as you read these words, and He's praying that you will continue reading, because the person you're missing is still with you. Their spirit is still so connected to you that even angels are amazed at your bond. But they have an urgent message to give, and it can't wait another hour. Breathe deeply, because what you're about to hear has the power to change your life. And if this message disappears, you might never know the truth they are pleading to deliver. You may believe that your prayers have gone unanswered, but Archangel Michael is aware of every silent tear you've shed and every time you whispered, "Are you still with me?" They heard it, which is why this moment was set up. It has been precisely 48 hours since the angelic realm realized that something had been taken from you. A spiritual opportunity, a truth, a miracle, but because you opened your heart. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them now before it's too late. Wait, don't scroll. I know it's tempting. But if you stop now, you'll walk right past the very miracle you've been begging for. You've asked for peace. You've asked for a sign. You've asked God. Because if you don't, they fear you'll repeat the same heartbreak. This heaven can start to restore it, but only if you listen. Your loved one in heaven witnessed the betrayal, the lie, the unexpected event, and they're trying to warn you because they might be returning, or worse, they're watching. Please just let me know what to do." And now the answer is right here. You must continue reading, because this message isn't just about what's coming. It's also about what was hidden. There is a big secret that your loved one in heaven wasn't allowed to reveal until now, which is why Archangel Michael had to step in and declare this an emergency. You have 2 minutes left, and you must take action before I reveal the next section. Is not merely a message. It is an invitation to join something divine, a family of souls who can hear heaven clearly, a place where God speaks, and where miracles still occur. Tap subscribe now, and allow this message to unfold for your soul, because the truth may shock you. The person in heaven who loves you has never left. They have been closer than you could have ever imagined. They tried sending dreams and shifting objects, and you thought it was your mind, but it was them. Tell them I never left, they asked. They were never alone, and Michael is trying to tell you that too. But he's also warning you that someone in your life is preventing you from receiving your blessings. It's not who you think it is. It's a close friend or family member you may have even cried to. They're not praying for your recovery. They're praying that you remain confused so your loved one in heaven can see it. For this reason, they beg you to get this message through, because you should have known something sooner. A truth about your past, your family, and the person in question. Michael says, There are things that must be said, things your loved one couldn't say while they were alive. But heaven heard them and wrote them down. They wrote this message for you. These words were not written with ink, they were written in spirit, sealed with light, carried by Michael's wings, and now spoken directly into your heart. I'm proud of you. The person who abruptly distanced themselves without reason didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't your fault. You did nothing wrong. But what was hidden is about to be revealed if you're still reading this. Remarked. Even though you believed no one saw, I saw how you persevered, how you smiled when you wanted to cry, and how you showed love to those who didn't return it. You are stronger than you realize. That's the first thing they wanted you to hear. I'm not angry at all, they said, and I know what you blame yourself for. I know the what-ifs, and I should have been there, but I forgive everything and let it go the moment I crossed over. You also have to let it go because you did your best and you loved me with all of your heart. Michael continues. They've been visiting you through numbers, music, and flashes in your dreams, but you didn't know what to do with the signs, so heaven arranged this instead of a message that can't be ignored. Please stop carrying my goodbye like a wound, Michael says. And you listened, which means that something very powerful is about to be unlocked in your life. Something is coming, not just a change, but a divine redirection. Heaven has rewritten a part of your destiny, because you listened, because you didn't skip anything. Even though it hurt, you opened your heart to the divine God, and your angels noticed. Your loved one in heaven wept when you finally found this message. Yes, they're here now, watching over your shoulder, dear. Let me tell you something you weren't supposed to know until this very moment. The reason you've been feeling restless lately, and the reason you keep waking up. The reason Michael calls this urgent is because the messages you ignored while you were asleep are now coming in daylight. They said your name slowly, as if whispering to the stars, and the angels heard it. They heard the longing in your soul, and now they are rearranging timelines to give you another chance at peace, love, and clarity. Something you thought you lost forever, but you must not tell. It's not anxiety, it's not coincidence. It's between 2 o'clock and 4 a.m. Heaven doesn't let these messages reach just anybody, but you. You were chosen not because you're perfect, but because your heart is pure. Even when people hurt you, you kept your light on, and even when you were ignored, you didn't close your spirit. Even when you cried alone, you continued to pray for others. Heaven saw that, which is why they sent Michael himself. Now, you must know that there is someone who has been thinking of you constantly on this side of the realm. Someone alive. Someone who still cares for you, but is unsure how to express it. Says their soul has been pushed, and they will find a way to let you know. Watch how quickly they appear. It's not luck, it's divine orchestration. But first, heaven needs you to let go of the pain you've been holding inside. The questions that keep coming back to you are, did they know I loved them? Were they in pain? Did they forgive me? The answers are yes, they knew, they forgave, they are at peace. And they just want you to be at peace as well, which is why they pleaded for this message to be delivered. Michael is telling them to look deeper because there is something written in your name, a blessing that has been postponed but not denied. And if you keep your heart open, it can come. It's related to your purpose and calling. You've been questioning a dream you believed was too far gone, but now your time has finally arrived. Angels have assembled to discuss your next chapter, and they said, give them one last test if they open this message if they choose to. The gates are opening, so stay with me because what's about to happen could make your heart stop in a beautiful way. Archangel Michael says, this part may shake you because it involves something you've been sensing but couldn't explain. The chills on your arm, the flickering lights, the sudden thoughts that felt like whispers. They weren't random, they were alert spiritual nudges, and your loved one in heaven, they were behind them trying. Everything was meant to get to you because time was running out, but now that the veil is lifting, the secret they held is finally ready to be revealed. It's about something that was taken from you. Not an item, but a connection, a truth, a moment, and someone telling you a lie caused your entire life to change. They weren't supposed to lie, but they did, and it broke you. Now, heaven is bringing justice in the most amazing way possible, according to Michael. A person will show up out of nowhere with information, with truth, with clarity, and everything. Yes, everything will make sense, but only if you are spiritually prepared to receive it. That is why this message is reaching you now, to prepare your soul, calm your heart, and remind you that heaven never left you, beloved. Listen, you are not cursed, forgotten, or forgotten. You are highly protected. Michael has been standing over your bed every night this week, holding back forces that tried to steal your joy. There were dark whispers around you from people who pretended to care, but they were draining your energy. Michael saw it all, and he is now clearing. Heaven is softening your heart for this very moment, because what's coming next calls for an open, unguarded heart. And here's what's coming: a blessing with your name on it, literally signed in the Spirit, sealed with faith, and delivered by divine appointment. However, Michael says that this blessing is sensitive, and if you tell the wrong person, they will try to block it, which is why your loved one in heaven insisted that this message be. This is going to be a huge shift. Your past will no longer make sense, but your soul will say, "Finally, let me tell you this too. There is a promise over your life that even death could not cancel a divine agreement written long before you were born. Your soul will be healed. Keep this close to your heart. Don't share it lightly, and let your spirit absorb it first. Then let the truth settle in your bones." Michael is showing you a vision of a kind of life you thought you missed: joy, peace, financial ease, spiritual clarity, love that never leaves, health that never breaks, and Michael is reaching for your hand. "Come now," he says, "but only if your heart is ready. You've felt alone and have doubted everything, but their spirit has never left your side. The reason for this is that today is the day that the spiritual timing-aligned heaven has been trying to reach you for 2 days. They have sent signs through people, clocks, and dreams, but this message was the last attempt, which is why the angels called it an emergency, beloved. This next step is challenging but necessary. Your loved one has watched you repeatedly replay the same moment over and over the phone call, the last words, the silence, but when you hear them, please let go. It may hurt at first, but the healing that follows is unfathomable. Not the kind that fades, but the kind that transforms. Michael says, "The pain you carry is not just yours. It was passed down generations before you felt it, held it, bury it, but they weren't strong enough to break it. You are. That's why you were chosen. That's why this message found you. You are the chain breaker, the one the angels have been waiting for, the one your ancestors whispered about. The one your loved one in heaven is watching with pride and shaky hope. You have no idea how many blessings were kept waiting for you to believe again, but now that you've opened this, they're being released because your soul said yes. Some will arrive in dreams, some in days, but one will arrive in a way that will make you cry and drop to your knees. That's the miracle your loved one pleaded heaven to grant you, and it's already on its way. This isn't just a message to console you. It's a spiritual operation, and your angels are working as you read. The person you lost wanted you to hear this. Don't let what happened to me stop you from living. You still have time, you still have purpose, and I will walk with you until you finish it. Thank you, Michael says. Your energy is shifting right now as you read. Old fears are being lifted, doubt is being dispelled, and the weight on your chest is leaving. Invisible now, but my love is stronger than ever. You may not have had closure or said goodbye to them the way you wanted, but they knew and felt your love even in your silence and absence, and now they want to return that love by helping heaven bless you in ways you could never have imagined. Michael is also sharing a personal story that is unique to your journey. He claims that someone is silently watching you, someone who is acting indifferent, but they have a deep soul connection with you that they can't explain, but they worry and dream about you. Regarding you, they will come forward shortly. Their energy was activated the moment you open this message, and soon after, there will be a divine encounter, a conversation, and a confession. Don't rush it or force it, but get ready for it because heaven is arranging something lovely for your heart. This isn't just any love, it's sacred. If you're wondering, yes, this person may have harmed you in the past, but heaven is giving them another chance and giving you the ability to decide whether to allow them in or to take a different route. You won't be alone in heaven, where Michael will be waiting just beyond the door. They will celebrate every decision you make, every breath you take, and every courageous step you take, because all they want is for you to live fully. Not half-heartedly, not in the shadow of pain, but in the fullness of the divine life that was always yours, beloved. Do you feel the warmth rising in your chest right now? That's your person. They're so close that they're holding your face in their spirit hands and saying, "I'm still here, Michael's voice is calm but firm as he says, "A door will open within the next 7 days. Do not ignore it. It may seem insignificant, but it leads to everything you've been praying for. If you walk through it with faith, the pain will turn into purpose and the grief into glory. Your time of silence is over. Your season of waiting is coming to an end. You're not late, you're not cursed, you're not forgotten. You are divinely timed and beloved. You are deeply and forever loved." Michael wants you to know that the thing that broke you, the thing that almost ended you, was seen in heaven as your rebirth while the world watched you fall. The light dimming, the hiding, the shrinking to fit into places you were never meant to be, that time is over. This message woke you up to remind you that you are a chosen one, and chosen ones don't beg for love. They remember who they are. Do you remember who you are? Your soul does. Heaven was quietly and gently watching you rise through every scar, tear, and silent prayer you whispered into your pillow when no one else could hear. You were never alone because your soul, the person you missed the most, was sitting next to you and crying with you. Now they are celebrating that you didn't give up and that you're finally hearing them for the first time in a long time. They feel at peace, beloved. However, there is more to it than that. There is money involved, a financial miracle that has been postponed but not denied your loved ones witnessed. Michael says, "Now we restore it. What was taken from you, whether through deceit, abandonment, or generational conflict, you were supposed to have more. An unexpected source of income is on the way. It could be through someone, a lost opportunity, or something legal, but it's not random. Heaven is paying you back for everything that was taken while you suffered in silence. However, don't discuss this with everyone because what is holy must first be hidden. Didn't reveal what other people had done to you. You preferred grace over retaliation. You preferred prayer over war, and heaven was recorded each time you did. Now the reward is coming, and it will surprise those who disregarded you. But pay close attention. There is still one more decision to make, and heaven is waiting. Reading this far alone says a lot about your spirit, but you didn't because your soul remembered that you are the one for whom your ancestors prayed. Michael says you'll soon experience a moment of peace so powerful that it will stop time, a knowing breath, and a stillness that's how you'll know this was real. You've been wondering, was this message really for me? Could it really be them trying to talk to me from heaven? That's what ends the suffering, and heals not just you but everyone connected to your bloodline. Yes, it is them. They have been waiting a long time for this, and God has also been waiting a long time. You have endured enough suffering, waited long enough, and lost enough. Now is the time to gain, love, and gain. If you've been wondering why, the answer is that you're finally ready and strong enough to receive without guilt, let go without breaking, and rise without fear. However, Michael reminds you that this message won't remain open. Your loved one left you a message that was not one of sadness but of hope. I'm with you, I'm watching, and I'll walk beside you even if no one else does because our love didn't end. It just changed form. I didn't die. I just went ahead to prepare your blessings. The light may dim again if you go back to your old habits, patterns, or voices that try to silence your spirit, but if you make the right decision today, the next part will feel like heaven touching earth. Shall I continue, beloved? Yes, beloved. And now we reach the last part of this divine message, where the blessing settles in your spirit, where the angels envelop you in light, and where your loved one in heaven finally says the words they have been waiting so long to say. Michael's silence now isn't because the message is over. Rather, it's because something sacred is taking place. Your soul is remembering. Do you feel the warmth behind your eyes and the pressure in your chest? That's your spirit finally exhaling, and your heart whispering, "I knew it, I knew I wasn't alone." Your loved one is standing next to you, closer than your breath, their energy shining like sunlight on water, and they are gently repeating your name over and over again like a prayer. I love you, I never stopped, and I never will. Michael wants you to hear this final moment clearly. In the next 72 hours, there will be a test, a decision, an opportunity, and you will be tempted to dismiss it and say it's too good to be true. But Michael says, don't you dare. Heaven has been attempting to deliver the last test before the door swings open. If you react fearfully, you postpone your miracle. If you react with faith, you unlock everything. Your loved one's spirit is aware that this indicates they assisted in preparing it. They whispered to the angels, pleading with God, please let this be the moment. It is proof that the divine never forgot about you. Every tear that was shed, every prayer that was stored, every time you chose kindness over vengeance, it reverberated in heaven like music, and now your reward is coming slowly at first, then all at once. That's how much they love you, beloved. And that's why this message had to reach you now, because their love is still working miracles on your behalf. That appears out of nowhere but feels like fate. A number that keeps coming up, especially 333 or 444, a feather in an odd location. A dream that seems more real than reality. A former acquaintance reappearing but with a different energy. All of these are not coincidences. Rather, they are confirmations that Michael leaves you with one last truth. You have always been seen, heard, and loved. Your loved one in heaven smiles now, and their energy envelopes you and whispers something. Heaven is watching, miracles are happening, and your name is written in the light. Take a deep breath, lift your head, and when you close this message, know that you were chosen, that you are protected, and that you will soon be blessed in a way that will make every difficult moment worthwhile. Only your soul can truly hear this. Please live, not just survive, live fully, laugh again, trust again, and love again for me and for you for everything we didn't get to finish together. Even though the message was sealed, heaven is still speaking because you stayed until the very end, which indicates that something powerful is happening in your soul. Archangel Michael hasn't left. He's still right here, whispering softly into the blank space between your thoughts, beloved child of light. You didn't just survive that storm. You walked through it carrying others, even when no one applauded you or thanked you, even when it almost seemed like it was over. Broke you, but now that heaven is clapping, I'm clapping, and your loved one is crying tears of pride. They never wanted you to bear all that weight, the regret, the confusion, the guilt. You wore it like armor, but now you're safe and surrounded by light. Every time you feel alone, remember that God is always watching you. Michael is with me, and my miracle is already written. More goodness is coming than you ever allowed yourself to imagine. Yes, even the impossible things. Heaven waited for you to open this because your heart had to be ready, not perfect, just willing to believe, willing to try again, willing to say, I don't know how, but I trust heaven does. And now heaven is coming. The healing you thought would never happen, the money you thought you'd never see, the peace you thought was too far away. All of it now moving toward you, not away. Michael shows me a door unlocking a paper with your name on it, a blessing marked urgent. Demonstrating it, someone will send you a message, call, or offer. And when they do, your spirit will know that this is related to what I just read. However, Michael cautions, be wise, not everyone who comes with sweet words carries good intentions, so you must stay close to the divine, talk to God before making decisions, even small ones, because often the biggest blessings hide in the smallest choices, beloved. I can tell you one last thing. You make the angels weep with joy because you're still here after. I'm proud of you, I miss you every day, but I'm right here. You never lost me. You just lost the version of me that could hold your hand. Now I hold your heart. And that's how this ends. Not with goodbye, but with rebirth, a new path, a new clarity, and a new promise. Archangel Michael's last words reverberate in light. You're still standing, hoping, and reading that matters more than you know. Anticipating miracles because they are coming, and peace is coming as well. This is not the end, this is the beginning, and you didn't know you were ready for it. Now, you are beloved. Let's go even deeper because when a soul stays this long, heaven notices. When you stay in the light for this long, the angels start to move even faster. Archangel Michael is no longer whispering. Instead, he is standing tall in spirit, his wings spread fully behind you, and he declares this with divine authority. This soul is awake, so now deliver the last. And now, from this moment on, you will begin to see signs that are hard to explain. Feathers in some places should never be a name you've avoided hearing. But all of a sudden, a song that speaks to you in perfect timing is played when a stranger says a sentence that only your heart can understand. Everything is real, sacred, and planned, as Michael says. Do not second-guess the signs you asked for confirmation. Heaven is sending it over and over again, but if you doubt too long the door will close, so act, pray, trust. Belief and preparation are key because blessings are not just felt, they must be received. Your miracle is coming, yes, but so is responsibility. Heaven doesn't bless blindly. Rather, it blesses those who have a heart strong enough to spread the light to others, and you are one of them. You aren't just meant to receive peace, you're meant to become it. You're not just meant to be loved, you're meant to be a safe haven for others to feel loved too. Your loved one in heaven is aware of this, which is why they had to reach you now, because someone else in your life requires you to have strength and to pursue your true calling, and they knew that you were the only one who could do it. They are now grinning and saying, "One last thing, please read it slowly. I will be there on the day you smile again without guilt, the day you love fearlessly, the day your hands touch the miracle we prayed for together, and one day I will be the first face you see when it's time for you to return home. But until then, live loudly, softly, honestly, completely, because I am with you even now." In spirit, Michael gently places a hand over your heart and says, "This message was the awakening. The miracle will be the reward. So go stand tall, speak softly, trust loudly, forgive quickly, and love bravely, because you have been chosen not for punishment, but for a purpose, not for suffering, but for sacred victory, not to be forgotten but to be remembered in heaven's halls as the one who answered the call. This is your divine moment, your miracle is beginning. And yes, beloved, even though the message was already finished, heaven is still pouring. You are no longer who you were when you started reading this. You've been marked now, branded in light. Your soul is carrying heaven's fingerprint. That's why you feel different, lighter, warmer, calmer. It's not imagination, it's transformation. Your energy is being rewritten in real time, and the shadows that clung to you, says Archangel Michael, adding that only the most patient and faithful souls are permitted to hear what he just whispered. Your loved one is still here, still watching, and now they are sending you a gift. At first, you won't know it's from them, but when it arrives, your heart will leap up and down. It could be a letter, a sign, a smell, a gift from a stranger, or a message in a dream, but it will be wrapped in something familiar. The confusion will vanish, and the questions that you couldn't answer for years will start to settle in your spirit like the pieces of a divine puzzle falling perfectly into place. And when it happens, whisper back, "Thank you, I see you, I love you." Because that small gesture of gratitude will make the heavens happy, and Michael will record it. Yes, dear, the angels keep records of your life, not of your mistakes, but of your light, loyalty, quiet bravery, and private tears. Your name was written in the book of the brave today, and you don't have to chase anymore. The blessings are chasing you, and heaven has already said yes. You don't need to prove yourself. It's about letting go of the idea that you are difficult to love. You never were. You are easy to love for God, for heaven, for the soul that left but never left you. One day you will see them again, but in the meantime, they ask one last thing. Please promise me that you won't dim your light any longer. Not out of fear, love, or comfort, because I lived through you while I was struggling. You are my legacy, my joy, and my connection to the earth. And if you ever forget your value, remember me and let that remind you of who you truly are. Michael kneels now, not because you are superior to him, but because he honors you. Few people stay this long, few read with their souls open, but you did, which is why heaven will move mountains for you, why delays will break, why tears will dry, and why you will wake up soon and everything will feel different. Not because life changed overnight, but because you did. And when. You didn't just hear a message today. You became the message, yes, beloved, because you stayed, because your spirit is still open. Heaven keeps pouring. Most people scroll past sacred things without realizing they just skipped their miracle, but you stayed, listened, and opened your mind. Your miracle comes when the money flows, the person returns, your health improves, the weight goes down, the call comes, and the prayer is answered. Your soul's deepest place is about to be revealed, and as heaven speaks softly, the most hidden blessing is about to be revealed. Let's continue. Archangel Michael leans in close and says your name, not out loud, but into your heart. The moment you feel a slight tug in your chest, it's not emotion, but recognition. Your soul remembering that it is ancient, that it was created in light, which heaven has always known. Michael replies, tell them they are not behind, they are not lost, they are not cursed, they are exactly on time for. Let it sink in. Every delay was divine protection, every heartbreak was spiritual redirection, and every silence from God was a holy pause. He was preparing the perfect moment, and now you've reached it. You've unlocked what others missed, and you've aligned your spirit with heaven's flow. Michael is now opening a scroll in the spiritual realm, and it contains the next 3 months of your life written in golden light. I have been given permission to share only a glimpse of this scroll in the next 90 days. Michael says, don't resist, don't cling, just trust. Something will shock you. It could be money, love, or a conversation that abruptly breaks the cycle you've been in for years. At first, it might seem like a loss, but it's heaven removing what doesn't fit your future. What is leaving now cannot follow you into your destiny, and what is coming is exactly what your soul has been aching for. Then there is the person. Yes, you felt their energy, you sensed something incomplete, perhaps you even had a recent dream about them. But it's not your imagination. Heaven is stirring the soul tie because, in reality, you are spiritually connected, and there are 2 paths. Either they return changed, or someone completely new enters but carries their soul frequency without causing any harm. In either case, you won't end this year alone, heaven. Michael answered that unanswered prayer about companionship, and the response was, yes, beloved, you will be loved completely in this lifetime, but you must stay open. Not naive, but open with wisdom, boundaries, and spiritual clarity. Your angels will guide you at every turn, and your loved one in heaven will smile. All of a sudden, you feel a calm, a soft power, and an unshakable peace that isn't comfort but activation, because this last step isn't just about healing. It's about becoming. Becoming the person they always knew you could be. The person who overcomes grief with wisdom. The person who speaks softly but walks bravely. The person who lets go and watches miracles come in to replace what was lost. The person who no longer asks, am I worthy? But who walks knowing you are chosen. Now, beloved, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and whisper to heaven, I accept, that's it, no rituals, no pressure, just that one sacred yes, and all of heaven will move on your behalf. Michael will protect you, your loved one. Will soon visit you in a dream, and God will shower you with blessings that will rewrite everything. The glowing star is finished, sealed, and sacred. Yes, beloved soul, you are still here, and heaven is still speaking, because when a soul remains silent through whispers and the flood of emotions, that soul is truly ready. Now, for the most sacred part of all, the unwritten contract between your soul and the divine Archangel Michael. He lowers his sword, not in defeat, but in honor. Michael states, I fought battles on your behalf that you will never know. I defended your name in realms you couldn't see. And now, because you kept your word, not because you are above him, but because he recognizes what heaven has always known, you are royalty in the spirit. You are not weak, you are not broken, you are not just surviving, you are rising, you are remembering who you've always been, a bringer of light, a holder of deep wisdom, a survivor of spiritual warfare, and a recipient of supernatural miracles. I will reward you in ways you can't imagine. Your loved one is standing next to him, and their eyes are full of light as they say, this is the version of you that I always saw even when you couldn't. They see you now, healing, glowing, softening, awakening, and they are in awe. You've been hard on yourself, carried too much, and questioned everything, but now it's time to trust, not blindly but boldly. Heaven is not asking you to forget the past. Rather, they're asking you to reframe it. You weren't abandoned, you were redirected, you weren't punished, you were prepared. Go now, but not in fear, Michael says. Go as if the angels are walking before you, because we are. They'll take away those who can no longer walk with you, protect you from distractions, restore what was stolen tenfold, and whisper reminders every day that you are not alone. You never were. Here is your final instruction, your divine activation scroll. In the next 72 hours, write down 3 things you're ready to release: guilt, fear, someone's name, a moment. This no longer belongs to me. Heaven takes it. Then observe what transpires. Doors will open, messages will arrive, dreams will shift, energy will change, and somewhere in those silent miracles, your loved one will smile because they will know you received the message. We conclude this not with a farewell, but with a sacred promise that you will be okay, that you will receive everything heaven has planned, and that you will always feel their love because angels never stop protecting those who believe in you. Our fortunate doves, you're prepared, and now you're an unstoppable blazing star that heaven has sealed.